Welcome to hell. You know, I wanted to do this from the drains, from the gutters, from the sewer. I can hear the haters out there right now going, yeah, that's it. There's Toddy Ennis. He's a piece of shit. He belongs down there in the drain, in the gutters, in the sewers. Well, I've got to tell you something. You're wrong. There's something much more for me in life out here. But I'll tell you this. Life will pull you in so many different directions. So many people say they can do this, they can do that for you, and they give you hope, but they never show up. And I've had it all. I've had nice cars, I've had a nice house, I've had a nice family, I've had so many nice things, and I've lost it all. And I've got it back again, and I've lost it again. And I've come to the realisation that the very best version of me is the man that stands down here with everybody else, who's doing it tough. Everyone else that is fucking constantly taking life's biggest punches. So the people out there on the social media world, or the influencers, whatever they want to call themselves, all they do is show the good stuff. That's not the real version of them. That's not the real version of the world that we live in. Unfortunately for the majority of us, this is it. So I'm right here with you guys. And you know what? How fucking grateful that I can walk around here at this time of night in the community that I grew up in, ironically. I'm back here. And I just get to feel so free and at peace with who I am. 6-year-old boy. I was born into hell. My first memories of life are far different than the majority of kids who are playing tips with their friends, where they're loved and cared for. Looking forward to Easter and the Easter Bunny. The Tooth Fairy, maybe get a couple of bucks in the old glass with a bit of water in it. Looking forward to Christmas and Santa Claus. I was being taken by an after-school carer who was supposed to be looking after me at 6 years of age. And I was taken into a garden shed for months before anyone knew about it. Welcome to life, Toddy. So I was born into hell, guys. I always knew there was something different about me. I knew that, my mum knew that. Dad didn't care. Mum tried at different doctors, different places for me, but no one could really pinpoint it, you know? I was just built different. I was born different. I was good at sport. So was my brother, ironically, rugby league. That was an outlet, that was nice. I never really found my place through my young childhood, sorry. I never really found my people. Friends always came and go. I never really knew why I was always losing friendships, you know. I lost a lot of friendships growing up, and I found that as I got a little bit older, fighting for me became an outlet for me, but it also made me feel something I'd never felt before. I felt safe because I was getting respect from people. I gravitated towards older guys that made me feel safe, hence why I sort of hung out with the club life. And it just led to so much trouble for me. But I had that safety in numbers. I craved that my whole life because I never fitted in anywhere. I turned out to be a failed athlete through cutting corners and doing the wrong thing. I had an opportunity with the North Sydney Bears when I was 19. It was my whole childhood dream, me and my brother's childhood dream, was to play in the NRL, and we're going to be famous. And he went on and did that. And I went the other way. I found crime, I found women, I found drugs. I always put on this facade that I was someone special, like I was a rock star. But inside I was a shattered, really weak excuse of a man, a lost boy. this train station up here at Cardiff. 2001 was when I had my first real meeting with depression and suicide. I was on the back of a bender. If you guys haven't seen that on my Instagram and my interviews, my podcasts, news, radio, that was that's actually one of those real bad goosebump moments. But for some reason, no train came that day in time for me to tap out, and I was rescued. You know, it's crazy, man. It's fucking crazy. You know, life is beautiful when you're free. But so many people are going to go through life, and they're never going to face up to the traumas and the pain that they go through. I'm not like that, you know. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to keep inspiring the world, and I'm going to keep telling people how it is, because I'm in it with you. As a failed athlete, I had to identify my father at a very young age. And I lost that father figure, that role model that all young boys need. I had the green light then. I had no sort of watch guard over me, and I behaved really poorly. And anything that sort of went down, anything that didn't go my way, you know, I was always sort of looked after, because I was that young kid with all that trauma, and he just lost his father, and you know, you only had to look me up, and you'd see all the you know, my upbringing and the child sex abuse case and all that sort of stuff. So I was always exempt. I had no consequences for anything. You know, you punch on in town or whatever, just let him go. He's going through a bit. You know, we got caught up in crime, you know, and I always got away with it. I got out of it. Through my 20s, I really struggled. I didn't know if I was even lovable. You know, I met a female, and we got married, and we had kids, and you know, I didn't even adjust to that properly. You know, I was still way too immature, a silly boy. And sorry, it's a bit dark. But it was the best thing that ever happened to me, looking back. You know, she came into my life at a time when I didn't think I was worth anything, and she made me feel like I was lovable. We raised a young family. It wasn't enough, you know. I still had that fucking burning desire inside me to be naughty, to be bad. It was in me, because I knew I'd get away with it, you know. Looking back now, subconsciously, I didn't know that. I didn't think like that, but it never had any consequences. So you're always going to fucking do whatever you want, no matter what people tell you, until you can't. There came a day, fast forward, there came a day in 2018 when I got arrested. I got raided on my properties, and spent that day answering, well, not answering questions, being interviewed. Obviously I had nothing to say. That was a bad day, you know, sitting inside that cell, that 12-hour period, not knowing what was coming my way. What led after that was horrific. The fear of the unknown, the loss of friends in the community. It went on for so long, all the different court cases, all the adjournments. I found myself on a cliff, and I went up there with every intention to see what it felt like to stand on the edge. And if it felt good, I was going to go. I was going to take that step. I thought, fuck me dead. Not even my kids can save me now. What sort of role model am I? I didn't step off that cliff that day. I walked away. Fast forward 3 years, we've got through the case. The pressure on my marriage, the pressure on my kids at primary school, all the fucking rumours and all the stuff that people were talking about us in the community, they were killing us inside. And that, as human beings, is such a fucking bad trait. No one considers when someone's down on their fucking knees and the kick in the guts that they keep giving you impacts young children and other people's mental health. They don't think like that. And I really hope they never have to go through anything like that either, because I don't think they'll get through it. We got through it, but we separated. Sadly, we lost that family dynamic. I became quite a heavy addict through my coping mechanisms. You know, my ex-wife became really distant, and I just became a shell of someone that was just unlovable again. And she stayed way too long than what she should have. She was a fucking soldier. Great human being. Really good woman. And I took that family dynamic away from her selfishly. I didn't consider anyone else, and that's a life sentence in itself. But I took myself in 2024. So I took myself in 2024 to rehab down in Sydney at Bronte. I did the 21-day program. And I did that purely to try and win my family back. I thought, here we go, this is another lie and excuse. I'll get these guys back. They'll see I'm doing the work. It wasn't the case. I come out of the rehabilitation clinic, caught the bus, caught the train home to Newcastle. Yeah, pack your bags, Toddy, we're done, we're getting a divorce. So from that moment forward, that was when I started to have my real consequences. Again, I still didn't know what was ahead of me. I ended up in an industrial shed. I'd lost every friend that I ever thought I had. It's funny. It's funny how people say, sing out if you ever need anything, and when you sing out, they're gone, because they don't want to be tarnished with the same brush. So you find your real friends along the way. I've worked that out now that I'm on the path I'm on. But let's go back to that era. In that industrial shed, I was at a place called Gateshead, which is very close to Redhead. I could walk to the beach and back to that cliff, and I had many nights where I considered what it might be like to get away. And I never took my life, obviously, but I was building an internal strength and facing myself for the first time, and I didn't realise it was happening. My mum used to come and pick me up and take me to NA meetings because I couldn't afford fuel. Inside that shed, I became clean because I couldn't afford drugs or alcohol. The hardest part about the shed, looking back, was having to turn my phone off on weekends so that my daughter and my son wouldn't ask me if I could pay for Uber Eats, because I didn't want them to see the dad that I really was. I wanted to see the dad that I was trying to make them think I was. In fact, I didn't want the whole world to know who I was. I wanted everyone to keep thinking there was a facade, you know. You know, he's a handsome looking bloke, he's got his stuff together, he's got nice things. But again, that wasn't me. I was fucked. How I survived? I started exercising. It was the very first fucking step. I used to sneak into the Anytime Fitness down the road. When someone swiped in, I'd have a cold shower there. And that was a catalyst for me starting to feel better about myself, as exercise. I learned how to fast inside the shed. I actually put into ChatGPT one night, how long can you go without food? You can go a long time. But then I also got the research around how good it is for you too. So fasting became a big thing for me. Because I'd lost all my friends, the people that I was meeting down at the ocean baths and just in the disability sector and all that sort of stuff, they were sort of becoming like-minded people. And I started Instagram and I started LinkedIn, and I just started posting about what I was doing. And you know, there'd be days there where I'd wake up and I'd have a heap of followers, and then there'd be days there where it was reduced significantly. It used to fucking kill me. I didn't understand why. And I do now. You find your people on the path. And when you start doing positive things for yourself and your life, those cunts fuck off because they don't want to see you do well. So they fuck off anyway. And I appreciate that now. The shitbags are gone. And I say that, I don't say that lightly. You know, a lot of people really disappointed me because these are people that I always showed up for. Whether it was because I was the clown at the circus entertaining them with bags or fucking grog or a place to sleep or, you know, whatever. When you're down and out, they fucking ran. And it's the best thing that ever happens to you, but you don't realise that at the time. So I'd learned to exercise. I was fasting and my diet was super clean because I didn't have a lot of money for food. But when I did have food, I was going down to the 7-Eleven. I was getting the throwaway protein meals that the little Pakistani bloke was going to tiptoe. Obviously there was water inside the shed from the taps. Start going to my meetings, meeting good connections. I was sleeping really well because I wasn't fueled by alcohol and drugs. So all those things alone are components that I coach now and I have inside this Shield operating system in the program that we sell online. These are all things that help people live well. How I know that is because I fucking did it. Fast forward now into 2026. There's over 30,000 people on my Instagram. Not that that's a big deal, because followers are easy to get. You can manipulate the algorithms really easy. I don't do that. I post long content because I know my audience need to hear what I've got to say. I don't do that short dopamine fucking quick shit like everyone else to get all those followers. I also don't post rubbish about the shit that looks great all the time. And I also don't preach shit that other influencers preach, and it's not fucking true. And that's a sad thing to bluff the Australian community like that. But that's for another fucking day. I'm chasing my purpose every single day. I jump out of bed early and I bounce. Because I found my happiness. I found it right down here in the pit of hell. I actually had it inside me all along. I just had to have consequences before I fucking realised it. I now have a career of helping people, serving humanity. My acts of service now that impact the world is the best thing that's ever happened. So on the back of all that pain and trauma and the hell that I had to go through, it's fucking worth it because I'm saving lives. And it's the best thing I've ever done. It's insane that I get to wake up every day and do this and then coach online and have this automated program called the Shield operating system that actually impacts people over 21 days and allows them guidance on where to start. So mentally they can start building that resilience towards life's biggest challenges and understand that there actually is better days ahead, but you're gonna have to face up to yourself at some point. And I did that, and here I am now. So this is an underdog story, absolutely it is. This is one against humanity when I had many times to tap out, and I had no signs of success at any point. And I still get so much hate and so much nasty stuff from people, but I built resilience over time to push past that. Because you're never gonna be for everyone, right? You gotta understand that. But if you're for the majority and you're helping people and you believe in what you do, just keep going. You know, find out. Fuck what everyone else thinks. Because those haters, they're gonna go away eventually. And you know the beauty about that is? They have to watch you for the rest of your life, impact other people in a positive way. They have to see you live your best life with someone who faced up to hell. And sadly for them, they don't want to make changes in their life because they're really comfortable making other people trying to make other people feel bad. And those people will die very, very lonely and very sad. So I hope that my story, well, the little piece of my story obviously is inspiring to you guys. I know I'm helping so many people out there in the world through my journey and my story. I am just like you guys. I'm from right here. You know, this is me. I guess I'm just the voice of all you guys that's happy to talk about it and put himself out there. So I'm no one special. I get a lot of pats on the back these days, which is amazing. I'm very recognisable out in the communities now, and I love that too, and I love having conversations with people. But I did this because I fucking made a decision to go to war with myself and then defeat myself. And now I've got a blueprint every day on how to do it. It's in a framework, it's in a system that you guys all have the opportunity to go and go through the course and understand that for yourself, implement it into your life, and I promise you can live a better life too. But I had to go through hell to get here, so let's fucking go. Love yous.